Alright, this guy came back to me. I painted this bike about 12 years ago. Keeps it in his garage, takes care of it, and as it happens, either a rake fell on it from the wall or a kid's handlebars scraped into it, something weird happened, and now he's got a chip in it. So in this video, I'm not showing me dabbing color into it. I'm showing me actually fixing this thing and clearing over it. So like right here, I go ahead and hit it with about 500 grit sandpaper, sand out the scratch as best I can. Now since I painted this job, I know about how much clear I put on this thing, so I was able to sand out the majority of that scratch. Then right here, I take some sealer, a couple drops of hardener, and just literally dab it in there. Then I prop the part up level and just let the sealer flow into the chip and level out. Taking a stir stick, wrap it in 500 grit sandpaper, and I'm basically planing the area. I'm shaving off that top layer of sealer and making it completely smooth with the rest of the body. Now, if you want to do a quickie job and something simple, you could have just taken some red color, dabbed into the holes, put a little bit of clear on top, wet sanded it, and buffed it, and you would have probably never noticed it that much until the light hits it just right, and then you would see it. It would stand out like a sore thumb. This way, it's like a normal paint job. I'm repairing the panel. I'm sanding it, I'm smoothing it out, I'm going to dust the color in, and you'll never see it. Now, I could not find the original color red that I sprayed this thing 12 years ago. I'm sure I threw it away or it's been dried out somewhere. So I just found a color that was very close to it and started spraying it on. I'm doing light coats, low pressure, just kind of dusting it into the area, and then I'm fading it out on top of it. So my color may be a little different, but it's going to blend into the rest of the paint. And you can see from the sheen, still got some texture there. So I went ahead and took a little 500, planed it just like I did earlier after it sat for a while, dusted some red on top, and then took some candy concentrate red and did a few more ghosted flames on top of it, so it just even blends in even more with the graphic. And now I'm going over the whole thing again with sandpaper, and any kind of little bump or texture to that chip is completely gone now because I've wet sanded this whole thing down even more. And once you finish the 1500 grit sandpaper, you chase it with 3000 and 5000. Now this stuff isn't cheap. It's about $100 a box. It's about 12 or 15 sheets in each box. It's got a thin foam pad on it too. And its only job is to go ahead and chase out those 1500 grit scratches. So I'll go over this whole thing, take my time with 3000 grit. Now the final step is the 5000 grit, so I'll go ahead and give myself a foam pad, stick it on my 5000 grit. There you go, right there. And I make sure the surface is nice and wet. And now, like before, I just chase that 3000 out with the 5000 grit. 5,000 grit sandpaper is pretty ridiculous. I mean, basically you're sanding with a piece of paper. You can't feel the grit, but it's finally cutting out those 3,000 grit scratches. And when it comes time to buffing, as you can see here, the surface now actually has a shine to it because the 5,000 grit is so fine of a scratch. It's not going to take me long to buff now. When you're buffing, don't put any pressure on it. You're not trying to, I don't know, just take it easy and don't go crazy on this. Use the weight of that buffer just to be the weight. Don't get in there and grind on that thing because you're going to cut right through that paint and you're going to rip right off. You're trying to hurry up and get this thing out the door so the customer can get it, and you cut right through that thing, and it's just really sucks for the whole rest of the day because you got to redo that whole job again. And don't skimp on the compound or glaze, because if you don't have enough on there, you're going to go ahead and create heat, and heat is going to grab that buffer against that paint and it's going to put a little burn mark in it, and then you're going to have to do more sanding and buffing and suck up more of your day and blah 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 blah, and next thing you know, a quick job is taking you a day or two extra. After a while, check it out, see what you got going on. Still got some wet scan scratches I got to go ahead and finish buffing out. Now, being that the rest of the bike is a 12-year-old paint job or so, I'm not trying to make it immaculate. I'm just trying to get it good enough. So if the rest of the bike has this little worn scratches over 10, 12 years, and this piece is immaculately perfect, it'll just stand out too much. So I get it good enough. The customer comes to pick it up, doesn't even remember where the chip was, so my job is done. And being that this video was kind of short and really wasn't too exciting, it was just me fixing a chip, I decided to add like 2 minutes of Kung Fu in just to kind of make it more exciting. Enjoy!
I can handle all of you without using weapons. You lot think you can escape? Go for your life. Go on, run. Run away! Run away! Go on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down.
I haven't a weak spot. You lie. There must be one. Further Chow, attack the crime.
Go ahead now, since you're in the mood, crush that like button, subscribe to my channel. I put something out every couple weeks. Probably won't be Kung Fu related, maybe Godzilla or something else, but there you go.